Is anybody else ready for some forward motion? We have had a season of deep, deep processing. Lots of skeletons coming out of the closet for review. Karma returning. And now we're shifting into a full-blown Aries season. Yes, it's a go button. Passion, impulse, creative expansion, leadership. We have all planets stationed direct. So it's a go button. I'll explore all this and more today, right now. Our Waking Dream, welcome. I'm Coco Swanson, your host. I'm a strategist and mentor, and each week I show up here on Our Waking Dream to go over an embodied astrology lesson, basic lesson, what's going on within the cosmos, how it affects you, and what we can do to move with the flow of the current versus flailing upstream. Before I dive into that, let me go over a couple things going on in my business expansion that you might like, because I've got a solutions lab. I just hosted the first one yesterday. It's fantastic. Free. You come, you bring your problems live, and we solve them. That's on the newsletter. There's a link every other Sunday, noon Pacific time. And I'm launching a new site with a new leadership studio and different options for people to work with me directly. I will be launching that site and the program in the next weeks, so keep an eye out. Okay, let's get started. Aries season. Can we just sigh? I feel like we need more sighs. Maybe just for me so I can keep breathing. Because true to Aries form, I carry Aries bias because I'm extra Aries. I only bring up the bias because I see through the lens, and so I have more opportunities to teach Aries crash courses, which is what this today is about, because I have a lot of Aries emphasis. Therefore, I need to stop, slow down, take a breath, and come back to center. That's an Aries crash course tip number 1, and I'll explain why. So, deep, slow breaths in Aries season. Aries, initiator. It's the impulse of life. It's willpower. It's a trailblazing leader. It's the first sign of the zodiac. So, say we're in a brand new spring season, which we are. Time in spring season might feel different than time in winter. Perhaps time moves faster in spring. There's more, it's bursting with life. And so slowing down allows for more integration. Samesies with Aries. So Aries, we are, fast. We are impulsive. I'm just saying we, because I'm including me in this. How about you? Do you have Aries in your chart? If you do, it's the initiator, it's clear, it's powerful, it has a quick fuse. Aries is Mars's sign. So Mars is a planet of war. Aries is the zodiac sign of war. However, it doesn't need to be tied to war. It's that fierce, yes, it's that courageous movement, that impulse to do, and we do it. Deep breath, Coco. I think I might integrate that into the podcast. I have these little pauses where Coco's taking a deep inhalation, helping the Aries settle, because that impulse is fantastic. However, we want to bring our wisdom with us, our awareness with us. Because if we think of the first burst of life, that's not where we go to contemplate how our actions might affect the greater whole. We're acting. And so when we integrate Aries season, and this time it's a turbo Aries season, I'll explain why it's turbo in a minute. Each time we get this Aries impulse. Yes, do it now. Yes, go for it. It needs tempering. It needs to go through a process that allows for it to be wizened, or else it can really burn things down. So impulse, fantastic. How we drive the impulse needs a little bit of a crash course. That's what today's about. So let's see. Why is it a turbo Aries season? Well, we've got Neptune at 1 degree of Aries. We have the sun today on the 22nd at 2 degrees Aries. Saturn at 4 degrees Aries. That's basically a little conjunction of 3 important things in the zodiac. But we also have Venus at 20 degrees Aries and Chiron, the wounded healer, at 25 degrees Aries. 5 planetary bodies in Aries makes turbo Aries season. What do we do with this? Well, Neptune and Saturn, those 2 planets, those are outer planets that have heavy hitting collective pieces, meaning they work subconsciously in our programming in the hard drive versus the software. So it's more subtle and hard to direct unless you know that it's going on. So what does it mean if Saturn and Neptune are in Aries and the sun's right between them? It means we need a lot of room for trial and error. Aries is meant for trial and error. So we need room for error because the structures that we're building, structure is Saturn. And what we're dreaming about, Neptune, bringing into the world, Aries, just going to keep code switching here. We're dreaming, Neptune, about impulse, our will of life to bring to the world, Aries, and to bring structure to Saturn. If we just had those 2, it's turbo Aries season. We bring the sun that illuminates all things Aries, which it's in, and we bring Venus, values, what I love, and bring it into Aries. That adds more value and emphasis on Aries. And then the wounded healer is, gosh, Chiron's been in Aries for a good long while now because it moves pretty slowly. So it looks again and again at the areas of Aries that might need tempering or wizening to be a healer in all Aries attributes. Gosh, try to say areas and Aries a bunch of times in a row. It doesn't really work, but I tried. Hopefully it still makes sense. So let's just jump into the questions. So this is a time where mistakes are welcome. So how are you about making mistakes? Are you a perfectionist? Right now is a fantastic time to look at what areas that you hold your standard up real high for yourself, because in this season, we need to make room for trial and error. When we're trying new things, which we desperately need on the planet right now, we need room for trial and error in our relationships, in our businesses, in everything. So how much room for trial and error do you provide for yourself? And do you provide for whomever you're helping lead or guide? Secondarily, how's this one? What would I attempt? What would I do if I allowed myself to just fall flat on my face? What would you make? What would you create? What would you do? What's your passion directing you towards? And so if your passion's directing you towards something, and your fear comes up. That's what we want to look at in dissolving the fears. So, where are your fears right now? And how do they connect and block you from executing, or at least initiating? We'll say initiating your passion. And yeah, where are you waiting for permission, for external validation, for somebody else to come along and give you permission? This is a time to listen for the internal nudge, the directional nudge, and to follow that. Practice number 2, I suggest. It's sometimes slow or perceivably slow is the fastest way there. And this comes from someone, me, that has bias towards Aries because my Mars, Mercury, and Venus are all in Aries. So this said, I can't help but teach through the lens of my bias. I mean, none of us can, because I see through my lens of bias. Some of that bias is directed by my astrological natal chart, and so is yours. So if I'm a turbo Aries over here, which I have a lot of Aries aspects, then my crash course started a long time ago, and it keeps going every day. So I say this from an Aries experience that my pacing, not when I'm speaking because I slow this down, but my normal pacing is turbo fast. And when I slow things down, I'm able to access my wisdom. I'm able to access more about maybe your perception. It's less about me, and more about us and how my impulse fits into the greater ecology of things. So, curiosity during Aries season is how comfortable are you in slowing things down and allowing for wisdom to infuse into your passion? And we can do so primarily through awareness and breath and intention. So it's the ability to acknowledge when you are being passionately driven to initiate something, a conversation, a project, anything. When you identify the passionate initiation, that itself, you want to sit in your passion, and then soften. I release this. I release this back to source. I release this and I allow for myself to steep in wisdom, to see others' perspectives. I allow myself to see this differently before I act. That has really been important. I mean, I roll my eyes. You can't see me on podcast, but you can on YouTube. That has been critical, and not just once, it's every day of being an Aries influenced human. So in an Aries season, we all need to pause, breathe, and intend that our passion and our initiation and our is infused with love and wisdom. Gosh, same is true for Aries and anger. In Aries season, notice if you're quicker to lose your temper, quicker to get triggered, quicker to get feisty. And if so, apply the pause there for sure. Allowing that pause to infuse your passion with wisdom through intention and breath. It's as simple as that. I'm curious how that goes for you. Please write in the comments or DM me how these practices work for you, because they work for me and my clients. However, you might be brand new to me, so I'm curious how they work for you. Okay. Third, play. Play, play, play. Aries. It's the first burst of life. It's like a little kid. It's the passion. It can be contagious if we utilize play, and I'll explain play and what I define as play, as a method to explore our passion. If an Aries perceives heaviness, it can quiet the flame. It's a new flame of life. It's the first sign in the zodiac. So, vitality, it lives in play. And vitality feeds our whole system. It's alive. We are alive. My goal is exploring ways we can optimize the vitality and coherence between our body, our mind, our heart, and our soul. All are fed through play. And in Aries season, that potency increases. Play, no device. That's rule number one. We just turn off our devices. We're too hooked to these devices, right? We want to activate our internal operating system, then we just turn them on airplane or silent. So that's step number one in cultivating play. Step number two in cultivating play is explore silliness. Explore things that authentically, I mean, if you're new to play, it might not feel authentic at first, but it's what does my body and spirit want to do? Or how does it want to be moving? Or how does it want to be making sounds? Or think 3-year-old. I mean, if you're new, if you're an adult and you haven't played for a while, I just put air quotes on that because we don't usually talk about play in like a work setting or in a family setting once we become adults. But practicing play gives you more access to your passion and helps your passion build, which is really important right now. So play is being silly or it's authenticity really. And so if silly isn't authentic to you, what authentically feels good? Spontaneous, fun, silly, attributes that you'd usually associate with a dog or a child. In what ways can you in the moment explore that as medicine during this Aries season to build your internal passion, to create more directive flow in your life where you can create a life of your dreams. That's the goal. Play. I'm playing now. So my devices are on because I'm here, but my play involves a lot of body. I move, I dance, I giggle, I run around. It's like embodying a child or an animal. Play. Then, number two, I'm going backwards now. We slow down because sometimes slow is the fastest way there because it allows wisdom to infuse into our passion. And really looking at your relation to mistakes and perfectionism. And what would you create if you knew you were fully supported? And how to move in your passion. It's the inquiry of Aries. So thank you. Does this all land? Give me a thumbs up if it lands. Share it with your buddies. And I will see you next week. Oh, you can scooch over on my YouTube channel, the Coco Swanson. I have notes from the field each week now. It's an advice vlog. It's pretty fun. Those are little 3 to 5 minute videos. I'll provide a link and have a wonderful week. Happy Aries season.
Thank you for being a part of our community here at Our Waking Dream. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Fill my cup and let it overflow. Let it overflow with love.